Yeah. I don't think I've ever really asked you this before, man. But do you have a favorite team?
I mean, I would not really. I mean, Dwayne Wade's my favorite player of all time. Before that was Allen Iverson and Tracy McGrady. So those are like my three favorite players of all time. So I always kind of gravitated towards like those teams. If I had to pick a team who I've supported the most, it would be the Miami Heat because of D Wade.
So no, I hear you. I mean, I think Sean mentioned this when he came on the show. He
Yeah.
was like, "You're one of those." It's like, not having a team. Well, I mean, I would say congratulations because there's some people who have a team who, they're not really playing too well right now, and
Like your team.
yeah, it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
And I try my best not to, talk about the Lakers every episode, but damn it, it's hard. It's getting challenging not to. It's getting challenging to just let things be the way they are. And as we get closer and closer to the trade deadline, and these L's continue to happen over and over again, man, it's just depressing. Shout out to Karis LeVert, though. Shout out to Karis LeVert. I think he had a 30 ball in LA, but yeah, man, I don't know what the hell's going on with the Lakers. But on the bright side, I want to talk about two gentlemen that it's crazy. They both had big games on like the exact same night, and they constantly get compared, and that's Embiid and Jokic.
Crazy.
Man, you talking about Jokic, you had what, 49 point trip dub.
Yeah, 49, 14,
and then
10.
And then you got Embiid, 50 points in 27 minutes, which is also crazy. Two of the best bigs in the league, man. What are your thoughts on both of them?
What are your thoughts? Who's the best big man in the game right now? Don't pump fake. What are your thoughts?
Who is the best big man in the entire NBA?
Entire NBA. No matter they're hybrid, true center, power forward, stretch forward, whatever. Like, who's the best?
I'm going to have to go with Jokic, and that's not easy for me to say, and it's not, a wide gap. But, I mean, the things he's able to do offensively and what, he doesn't have in terms of, again, we always talk about his other two guys, and Jamal and Michael. And I know Joel doesn't have Ben, but it's like, I don't know. I don't think there's a wrong answer for the record. I put like this. When it comes to that whole debate between Jokic and Embiid, I really think it's based off what it is that you want out of a center, right? Like, whichever one you go with, I don't think there's a huge gap between them. Mm-hmm. One is great at one thing, one is great at another. Like, you got two, arguably, MVP candidates and MVP type guys who play the same position, but it's like, it really is tough to choose between one. But
yeah,
I'm gonna go Jokic though. I'm gonna go Jokic. I'm choosing one.
Yeah. And side note, I think you enjoy basketball more where you just don't have a favorite team. By the way, I just had to throw it out there because when you have a favorite team, it seems like I feel like you just enjoy because basketball more because you get to just enjoy watching hoops. Don't matter who wins, who loses. It's like it's not like football with me, like with Dallas Cowboys. Like, I was going through it, but let's get back to basketball. I mean, it's an interesting. We kind of talked about this a little. It's an interesting conversation because I think the reason why more people gravitate towards Nikola Jokic is because Nikola Jokic is what you can call a one of a kind type of player. We never seen a player like Nikola Jokic because he's a point center. So it's just like him running the offense, orchestrating the offense. Finding open men on the basketball court. If you look at that last play in the game where basically he had the ball in his hands, it was like 7 seconds left. A defender came over. He holds the ball above like his head. And then two defenders come up. They blitz him and they're doubling teaming him. And he's kind of just waiting to see like what's going to happen. Is this man going to cut to the basket and is this defender going to slide over? And then that does happen. And then he hits a zip line pass to Aaron Gordon. And Aaron Gordon hits the game winning shot. It's those things that's just kind of like we've never seen a center like really be like a point guard before. So it's just like, it's crazy. Like we talk about offensive talent, it's just like, Jokic is very serious. And you look at Joel Embiid, it's just like he's a hybrid big, but it's just like he has the physicality of a Hakeem and a Shaquille O'Neal, but he also can get boogie on the perimeter and hit fadeaways like Dirk Nowitzki. Like, so it's just like, it's hard. And he plays elite defense. So this conversation is very hard. It's very challenging. It's kind of like, what do you prefer? But I would give the edge to Nikola Jokic. because I've seen Nikola Jokic like really doing it in the playoffs. Joel Embiid is yet to make a Eastern Conference Finals appearance. So I'm just going to give that. I'm just going to let that be the determinant factor. But like talent for talent, eye test, and playing both sides of the basketball court, I would give the edge to Joel Embiid. But it's not always about that, like you always say. It's about like, what do you do when it matters the most? And we always go back to last year when the Philadelphia Sixers had the number 1 seed. People are going to say Joel Embiid was hurt, but it's just like Trae Young took them boys out. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you can't be the number 1 seed and the top dog and stuff like that, and then you underperform when it matters the most. So I'm gonna give the edge to Nikola Jokic, not simply off of just like eye test and offensive ability, because I feel like it's very like they're like this, very very similar, but it's just like playoffs. I got to go with Nikola Jokic, so that's why I'm gonna give Nikola Jokic the edge.
So one word that stuck out to me was defense. When I was watching, I don't know if, that Clippers versus Nuggets game in Denver, like, obviously, Jokic's numbers were crazy. But there were times, man, where Reggie Jackson was coming off that PNR, getting active. Yeah. There were times where Zubac was looking like very special. Mm-hmm. And so I know there's a lot of different factors that are going on in the game and things like that. But we talk often about how important it is, obviously, to put the ball in the hoop. But you bring up a good point in defense and Joel Embiid and just overall, if there was a gap, right, Joel Embiid defensively versus Jokic's passing or whatnot, those are things that, you can always talk about too. But yeah, I just had to take note of that because, I mean, again, on paper, and again, the Nuggets won, so it is what it is, you feel me? On paper, Jokic had a crazy game, video game numbers, all that. But Reggie Jackson, bro, was really getting busy, just attacking, like just straight going to, you know what I'm saying? And there's a height difference, obviously. And that's usually the case between a point and a center defensively. But like, I ain't gonna say it was easy for Reggie, but no, it wasn't challenging. And I like Zubac, shout out, former Laker, but you have, I think it was either his season high or his career high. And it's like, not sleeping on him, but hey.
But that's what we talk about. Like, that's when you have to bring up those things. If you just like comparing to, like I said, you like overall, I would probably get an edge to Joel Embiid, but like I've seen Nikola Jokic in the playoffs and dominating the playoffs when it matters the most. So it's just like, and also like the eye test really with offensively, it's like, yo, Jokic is crazy. So it's just like I give him that edge because of the playoffs. But like really though, if I'm picking like, I want somebody to play both sides of the ball. You know what I'm saying?
It's challenging.
I'm probably going to go with Joel Embiid, but it's just like you kind of got to give Nikola Jokic the edge because like of what we've seen in the playoffs. It's kind of like I talk about all the time, and I'm a big opponent of like, look, get your money, get your stats, this and that, eye test, offensive ability, skill set. That's what I really care about. But at the end of the day, I still have to understand it's just like, yo, you play basketball to win games. And if one guy is winning more games, being the number 1 option than you are, it's just kind of like at some point we got to kind of like roll with giving the edge. Even if it's small, kind of giving the edge to the guy that's kind of winning, When is that close? I think when is that close? Because it's like really apples and oranges. Like when is that close? You really got to get an edge to like, yo, this guy's winning. And neither one has a championship, but it's just like Nikola Jokic has had more success in the playoffs than Joel Embiid.
All right, so to me, the conversation is usually Jokic versus Embiid. Which one are you picking? But I want to know and talk about the gap between those two and some of the top guys in the league, right? So let's say Steph Curry, Giannis, KD, and LeBron James are all at 99 for the sake of this, example, right? They're all 4 of them are 99, whether you feel one of them is the best player, whatever. If they're 99s, what do you feel like Jokic is, and what do you feel like Embiid is?
It's crazy because I don't think all those guys are 99s.
Okay, well,
to be honest.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I don't feel like all those guys are 99. So it's just like,
well, none of them are lower than a 97. Again, it just okay. No. How about if you want to put a number for all of them, you know what I'm saying, 1 through 6, just say, put like this, one of them, or put like this, for me, one of them is going to be a 99, just so that we have context and,
All right.
But if you had to rank them all, I guess 1 through 100.
Yeah.
Just those 6.
Okay. I mean, the gap is not really wide when we talk about like between Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid. When we talk about coming up against like KD, LeBron, and Steph Curry from a talent perspective, but like, and even Giannis. But all those guys got rings. Most of those guys got Finals MVPs. Most of those guys got real playoff success. So it's just kind of like from a talent level and skill set level, it's just like, all right, they're up there, but it's just like, I'm not picking Nikola Jokic and I'm not picking Joel Embiid over none of those guys to go to war with in the playoffs. And that's kind of how I look at it. So I can't give you really a specific number, but I could just give you that.
Oh, no.
I can really just give you that because that's really because it's like if you basing things off of, like I said, just in the playoffs and winning, it's just like it's hard for me to like. I'm not taking Nikola Jokic or Joel Embiid over any of those four.
Well, that's it. I'm not asking you if you would choose.
But if you want a number, you want a number? Okay, LeBron is 100, KD's 100, Steph Curry's at 98, Giannis is 97, 98, Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid are 94s, 94, 95.
Okay, I'm not mad at it. You say Giannis was a 97, 98. Steph is a 98.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
LeBron is LeBron is 99. KD and LeBron 100. Really.
I'm not. I can't put. I'm not putting anybody at 100.
Yeah, I would say, bro.
Then that's tough.
Yeah.
All right, so I would say Jokic. That's tough.
Yeah.
Jokic is like, bro. Honestly, you put up 49. I don't know, man. I don't know if I could put either of these dudes at anything less than 95. You put up 50 in 27 minutes. That is crazy.
It was Orlando Magic.
I don't care.
Yeah, but here's something. It's like
okay, context is important, sure.
Yeah.
But 50 in 27 minutes is nuts.
Yeah, he probably could have got 70.
14 and 10 is crazy. Like
I seen James Harden do 60, 10 and 12. You know, at MSG in Houston. Like I seen some.
Everybody get their career high. Everybody get nasty in the garden.
Yeah, let me say something. I've seen some like these are all time great talents. It's just like if we really. That's what we guys talk about playoffs or something. It's like you can't. I just can't have guys that I can't really like. I can really say like, yo, KD, LeBron, Steph, and Curry. I can go to war with those guys, and I'll be really fine. Even if you want to throw Giannis in that category, I'm still, some things like, I still got to see some more things for Giannis, but Giannis is stamped. But like, everybody's picking those four over Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid without a question. Not thinking, not second, you know what I'm saying? Not even like, yo, you want this? You sure? It's not even no. Without a question, they picking those four over those other two. So it's hard for me to have them like, they got to be at least 3-4 points below those other guys, because if ain't nobody picking you to go to war with in the playoffs when it matters the most, nobody. If you ask up the most casual basketball fans and you line them up and you give them 6 players, they all picking those 4 out of those 6 to go to war in the playoffs with.
Well, see, that's all right. So it sounds like with your analysis, you're like ranking them in terms of like, obviously, like, of course, I don't know anyone that would choose those 2 guys over those 4. Of course, like there's tiers, right? Of course, there's a pecking order. Those other guys have championships, right? Those guys, majority of them have finals MVPs, as you mentioned. Those guys have MVPs. But I just want to know how far or how big the gap was. I don't even know if I said mine yet. So I'm going to say mine. So let's say KD 99. Bada boom, bada bang. KD 99. Oh, it hurts my heart. LeBron, Steph, and Giannis are all 98s.
I don't agree.
It hurts. It hurts my heart. You have no idea how much that hurts my heart. And plus 2, I'm talking about Kevin Durant's. It's not. It's Kevin Durant. All right. If KD's a 98, those other 3 guys are 97s. I'm gonna say Jokic 96 and B 95.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's hard.
One of them has to be obviously higher than the other. But I just can't put one of them at 94. That's the only thing that is making me wait.
Where's a healthy Kawhi? Because Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid damn sure ain't over a healthy Kawhi. We keeping it a buck.
I mean,
and let's not get crazy. I know Kawhi's been out. Let's not get
of
crazy.
Of course, people have forgotten. Okay, sure.
Let's not get crazy because like I'll probably take Kawhi over some of them 98s that you got. And we keeping it 100.
Some of her won. Some of her won. Let's not do that. Some of her won.
I may tell you some of them. Hey,
no, it ain't some. Is it some or one? Let me know. I named 4. I know it's not going to be KD or LeBron. So is it some or one? Is it Steph and Giannis or is it just Giannis?
It probably is some. It's
probably. You say probably like we're not talking about you.
Yeah.
What you mean? You don't got to guess.
I mean, let me. Yeah, I mean, I think you can make a legitimate argument that people that may want Kawhi Leonard over Stephen Curry and Giannis in the playoffs. I think you can make that argument.
Right.
I seen Kawhi. Yeah. So yeah.
Hey, I just wanted you to say which one. I'm not here to say whether or not I agree just yet.
Well, both.
Okay. Because like I said, I knew you was going to say KD or LeBron, so I just wanted to know if this was a target towards, the guy in Milwaukee or the guy in Golden State. But I don't know, man. And trust me, I mean, obviously, I value winning and all that, of course. But right now, again, anything can happen come playoff time. But when you consider the fact that both these dudes don't have their second best player, in Jokic's case, his second and third best player, and I know naturally that means your numbers should increase because the offense is going to continue to run through you. But at the same time, when we talk about efficiency, right, and they're doing it in winning, right? It ain't like
winning. He cooking too without his second best player.
That's what I'm saying. Both of them. That's my point. Is that Joel and Jokic? It's like they're not just putting up stats and losing, right? Like they're winning games. And I don't know, man. It's tough to say with Kawhi not being back. And I know right now we could just base it off of thoughts and memories and stuff, but I don't know, man.
It's crazy because, like I said, it's like when you're talking about like offensive talent and skill set and stuff like that. It's just like I think it's more closer than what I said. Well, you combine everything, and I'm gonna keep it. Let's get really hot with it. I don't know if I'm taking Nikola Jokic or Joel Embiid over Trae Young, based on what I saw last year, to go in the trenches with. So that's what I'm saying. Like, and Trae Young is not probably anywhere close to those 4 that we mentioned. For is like if you're ranking them from 100 being the max in the 90s and stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. I value like skill set. I value talent, but I also value like, what you gonna do as the number one option when it matters the most? I'm damn sure not taking Joel Embiid over Trae Young to be the number one option going to playoffs. I know the Atlanta Hawks are playing horrible right now, but what I saw last year is all I needed to see. Even with Nikola Jokic, I'm still taking Trae Young because I've seen Nikola Jokic be dominant in the playoffs, but also seen Jamal Murray look like the damn best player on that team.
Okay, so, true, but that's not his fault. Like, it'll be one thing if and I don't think like Jokic went ghost per se, but the difference between Jokic's and Embiid's situation, at least if Jokic was a second option, he was a second option to someone who was going on for 50, right? He was he might have been still MVP stats and all that, but at least the guy that he was the secondary option to was going off.
Yeah.
Embiid's was a little different. You know what I'm saying? It was like, all right,
I just don't feel like
I'm saying that plays a factor. Yeah. Like if no one on the Hawks is on the behind Trae Young is on the same level as Jamal Murray. But let's say John Collins just went off for 40 every game, but Trae Young was putting on 25. Right? That doesn't mean that Trae Young. I'm just saying as an example though, like just because you have someone else on your team playing great doesn't take away from your greatness, unless
true. But it was Jamal Murray was winning playoff series, bro.
But that's my point, though. It's not like,
but it's kind of like, but it's like when you win in playoff series, not just one series, a couple of games. He was winning series for him. He was like he was the best player on that team during that time. So it wasn't like taking a back seat because you hot for a couple of games and you going crazy. No, it was series. That's what I'm saying.
But he's snapping though. It's not like he's going crazy. Like he's not scoring 24.
It's a difference between snapping and it's a difference between he got to be the guy in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kyrie snapped, but we knew that the guy was LeBron James. Like, Curry snapped, but we knew that the guy was Kevin Durant. Like that playoff series, like I wasn't looking like, I was like, no, like Jamal Murray got to be that guy. And I even still feel that way. I feel like in order for them to win a championship, Jamal Murray, when the time is right, like, yo, he has to be their best. Because I really don't feel like you're going to win a championship as great as these guys are. I really don't feel like you're going to win a championship with Nikola Jokic or Joel Embiid probably being the number one option and the main guy. That's just me personally.
I would say not yet. I would probably add not yet. Because if you think about the other guys that we named outside of Giannis, those guys they're not on the tail end of their career, but they're a little bit older than Jokic and Embiid.
Yeah, true.
Right. So when we think about the next generation of superstars, right? I know we mentioned the Spider and the Luka and the Tatum and stuff, but like Joel Embiid and Jokic, they're like in that middle of they're not that old like KD and LeBron and Steph, but they're also not as young as those other guys. So it's like there is, an age gap that I think Embiid and Jokic fit perfectly in. So I'm not going to say they can't be the best player.
As of right now, I don't feel like they can get it done.
I mean, I'm not going to say that two guys who just put up those type of numbers can't get it done. And I know it's just one game. I know regular season is a lot different than postseason. Mm-hmm. If there's anyone that really has learned that, it's probably those two guys in terms of how Jokic was able to come back from a 3-1 lead against, the Clippers, and how Embiid's failure, or maybe not use failures, but how their series turned out against the Hawks. But
I just feel like you may not feel the way. Me personally, I just don't feel like. I think it's levels, and I think they're great. Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic are phenomenal, excellent. Like I said, Nikola Jokic to me is a one-of-a-kind player. Never seen anything like him before. As of right now, I don't feel like him or Joel Embiid as a number one option. It's a lot of guys in the playoffs, like to go to war with. I'm probably taking over them. So that's what it kind of really matters the most. Like when we talk about all this shit, like regular season, cool numbers and stats, but it's just like in the playoffs, in the trenches, what you gonna do? Who do you want to go to war with? And Nikola Jokic has been impressed in the playoffs. Joel Embiid has had his struggles, but it's just like it's a lot of guys that I can probably about 5 to 6 guys that I probably would pick like ahead of these guys, even if they're not ranked above these guys, just for the playoffs.
So you're saying you're saying right now. You're saying like you don't think he could be the number one option on championship team right now or this season? Right
now, but I also am saying like it's hard. I'm also saying like it's very hard to win a championship with as a center being your best player. Now, luckily, Nikola Jokic is a point center, so it's just like he's like a center, but he also like runs and dictates the offense. So like it's possible, like, but it's still very hard to win a championship with your center being your best player.
Yeah, when was the last time we saw that? Like the last time,
Shaq.
A team even. I was gonna say Dwight in terms of who actually made it to the finals, but
made it to the finals. But the one Shaq, and Dirk Nowitzki.
No.
He's not a center. He's not a center.
No.
He's not a center. Yeah, or Tim Duncan was played power forward, but
some people consider Tim Duncan a center. I'm not going that route.
Okay,
but.
me either. So yeah. Shaq.
Was it Shaq?
Shaq. That's what I'm saying, bro. 20 damn years. Like,
but also though, we also haven't seen the game has changed. We haven't seen a player like Jokic. You know what I'm saying? So I think that has something to do with it. The competition, the overall game. I mean, you give Jokic a healthy Jamal and a healthy Michael Porter Jr. I'm not gonna sit here and say that they can't get it done. They haven't proven it. So if that's the case you want to run with, the fact that they haven't done it yet, I'm with that. But I'm also not gonna say like there's no way that they couldn't win. Because at some point, all great players have to win at least one championship. Or like you know what I'm saying? Like it
at least make it to the finals.
Right. And I mean, and also too, I mean, like sometimes they've ran into like great teams. Right? Like it hasn't been just all right, they just fumbled it this year. Or like some team, they just haven't gotten it done year after year. And he's young. So it's not like he's been on the same team for 10 years and just, been shitting the bed. So I'm willing to give it time just because of where the entire league is.
You're talking about right now, though.
But right now, no.
Talking about right now.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it also depends too on who's on the team, right? So
true. I mean, true. Yeah,
KD probably, nobody can win it by themselves, of course. you know, and
Of course. Yeah,
it's
true.
like, because who's the
Jokic.
who's the second option on the Nuggets right now?
Well, right now, of course. We talking about
But
fully healthy.
I'm just saying those.
Yeah.
Like,
Monte Morris, yeah.
yeah,
Will Barton. Right, yeah.
it's, you know, but
I get what you're saying. It's not.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. It's not Jamal Murray.
right, yeah, exactly. Especially
That's
like you
not
mentioned, come playoff time.
Yeah,
Love
not
those
Jamal
guys,
Murray.
but there's a different beast when it comes to, you know, who gets it done and who you want to put the ball in their hands and things like that. But I don't know, man. It's just so crazy. Like, and it's weird. I know AD is injured, but before the injury, it was Jokic, Embiid, or AD. But now, obviously, because he's out, Anthony Davis is just the back and forth conversation between those two.
Yeah, but let's not get it twisted. I'm here. I'll put this right now. Healthy Anthony Davis. I'm taking. If I'm getting 2020 Anthony Davis, I don't give a damn if Nikola Jokic is a one of a kind player. I don't give a damn what Joel Embiid's doing. I'm taking Anthony Davis. If you line it up, say if I'm guaranteed I'm getting a 2020 version of Anthony Davis, I'm taking him over any big in the league. But
exactly, that is a heavy word.
That's a
but
can't really say that as of right now. So.
And I think that might be the problem with some people in that their opinions and takes is it like no one is questioning or should be questioning AD's talent. Like he's proven he has a championship. Even if he didn't win the ring, I still think he was proven. But obviously that put him over the hump, if you will. But it's the uncertainty of health, right? It's like you don't know.
Joel Embiid as well.
Yeah.
You damn right.
But it's not as like it was before. Like Joel, like
he was hurt in the playoffs.
But I'm saying like before, like
yeah, but
way
still
back when Embiid, it was
still,
like damn,
and that also gives Nikola Jokic an advantage over both because like availability matters. So if people want to pick out of the three, I wouldn't. If they pick Nikola Jokic, I can understand it because you know what? I know Nikola Jokic is going to show up. And also, this one thing that people sleep on Nikola Jokic. That brother got hard. Like it ain't like that brother got hard. Like it don't matter. Like who on his team. Like he's one of those guys you want to go to. He will go to war. Like you know what I'm saying. Like he will go to war. Even though I would pick other guys in the playoffs, just be a number one option over him. But it's just like if you ask a lot of people, they say you want Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, or Nikola Jokic as your number one option to go to war in the playoffs with. Only everybody's healthy. Not overall skill set and stuff like that. A lot of people gonna say Nikola Jokic.
Even though the fantasy football season is over, you can keep the excitement alive with MyBookie's double deposit bonus. Having your initial deposit matched up to $1,000 is like playing every game with home field advantage. All you have to do is sign up, use promo code NOPUMPFAKES, and get your funds credited to your account instantly so you can start placing your bets with MyBookie. With the NFL postseason in full swing, there's no shortage of games to choose from at MyBookie. And everyone knows that playoffs equal points. It's the best time of the year to hammer overs. With every player out to make a name for themselves, player props are a great way to find an edge. MyBookie is also home to exclusive contests that can be used to maximize your winnings and make 2022 your best year yet. Don't miss out. Double your first deposit up to $1,000 by using promo code NOPUMPFAKES. Place your bets and get ready for the intensity of playoff action. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. All right, so you talked on Jokic, so I'm going to talk on Embiid. So one thing that I noticed too about Embiid's 50 burger in 27 minutes, it wasn't just a number, but when you watch the clip, like when you watch like how his buckets were scored, it's like, yo, he's literally doing it in every type of way. Like bring the ball down, putting the ball behind his back, and just going to the hoop, getting it done in the post, getting it done with step backs, getting it done with turnaround fades. It's like there's flashes of every type of scoring when you watch Joel Embiid play. And it's like you really don't have an... And mind you, on top of all that, right, being a matchup nightmare, like you can't guard him. Like he is such a strong dude. Like obviously, when we talk about Kevin Durant, his height and his ability, to not ever really be blocked. But Embiid, it's like, yo, you can't really contain him. And then on top of that, there's finesse. It's not just strength. It's not just power. There's talent in there as well. there's skill, there's footwork, there's turnaround fades. Like, good luck.
It was
like I literally feel like the only person I could probably guard Joel Embiid is Joel Embiid. Like if you're quick enough to guard him, you're probably not strong enough. And if you're strong enough to guard him, you're probably not quick enough. So it's like, well, he's probably going to kill you either way.
Yeah.
Like,
and he got moves. His footwork is impeccable.
Moves.
Like, it's crazy. Like, people be mentioning like Hakeem, but like, like his footwork is nasty. Like you said, like the up and unders, the side jab that hit you with a turnaround fadey. Like, he's special. Like you said, he has the power, like, and the strength. Like, he gets down the post. And I know, like, you listen to like Charles Barkley and those guys and Shaquille O'Neal, like, they want him to do that all the time. Like, because it's probably be easier just to straight up dominate. But it's just like when everybody knows when your game is like well rounded, you want to mix it up. You may not just want to get like 20 points in the post doing dunks. You may want to hit him with a little up and under, hit him with a little pull up jumper, hit him with a 3-pointer, and he got a little handle too as well. Like, he's special. And then that's offense, and then the defense. My God, rim protector, and like he could get switched on the P and R, and he can keep guys in front of him. And even if they beat him to the basket, he's still quick enough to block the shot. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's serious. Like, when he's healthy,
a lot of bigs can't do that.
It's serious.
A lot of bigs can't do that. A lot of bigs get exposed.
Which is why the Philadelphia Sixers, what the hell are you doing? You cannot waste this year. I get it. Like, you want to hold on to Ben Simmons. You cannot waste this year of Joel Embiid. Like, you cannot. We're getting to a point where it's just like, and we talk about injuries and stuff like that. We don't know what's going to happen with Joel Embiid. Knock on wood. Hopefully he's good and healthy for the rest of the season. But it's just like, why waste this year? Because you want to hold on to Ben Simmons. Like, what package do you believe is coming? What package? It's probably one package that I think they're really, really waiting on. And I've been talking to people, but it's just like, I don't know if that's really going to happen. Or maybe they're just trying to wait until next season. But it's just like, what are you really waiting on?
So, all right, so what are you saying? Like, are you saying like they should trade Ben Simmons or trade Joel Embiid, or like
they should trade Ben Simmons? They should trade Ben Simmons and try to get him.
I mean, of course, I think that's what they've been trying to do for months now.
Yeah, but it's just like have they? Because you start looking at these things and these reports that's coming out, and it's just like, some of these deals are like crazy.
Well, again, but that's it. I mean, they probably don't want to give him up for nothing, right? I
mean, some of these things ain't nothing.
Oh, you're saying like they should have been like pulled the trigger and let it fly?
De'Aaron Fox is cold. Like, underrated. People forget how cold De'Aaron Fox because he's in purgatory with the Sacramento Kings. That's just a fact. He's just as talented as Ja Morant. Like, he's just as talented as Ja Morant. Like, quick off the dribble, can create off the dribble, can score in a variety of ways, like get to the bucket, floater, leads on the pick and roll. Like, he's just
bruh, man said purgatory.
Yeah, nobody has success with the Sacramento Kings.
That's tough.
But you know who they waited on this?
Sixers or Kings?
You know who the Sixers are waiting on?
Who? Dame?
No.
Who?
They're waiting on they're waiting on James Harden. I think that's what they're waiting on.
Man, you are a comedian this episode.
No, I'm dead serious. That's who they're waiting on. They're waiting on James Harden.
I hope they're not holding their breath.
They're waiting on James Harden.
I hope they're not holding their breath. Why? Well, what? No,
because if the Brooklyn Nets don't win a championship this year, and it's been stuff circulating that James may be gone, but it's just kind of like, I guess that's worth the wait, because if you hold on to Ben Simmons and then like James Harden comes like available, says he's not going to re-sign with the Brooklyn Nets, then you can do a sign and trade with Ben for James Harden, similar to what Kevin Durant did with the Golden State Warriors, that led them to the Warriors landed D'Angelo Russell from the Brooklyn Nets. It's just like, and James Harden gets his money, and James Harden gets to be reunited with, Daryl Morey. Like,
that's not a good look. To me, like if I'm James Harden, I don't think that's a good look. I think that damages his quote unquote legacy even more, unfortunately, because it's like, if dudes couldn't win a championship with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Damn Durant, what do you think the dialogue is about to be then?
It's not always about. It's also about like winning your way. You know what I'm saying?
But see, okay, and that's another thing too. How many ways do you want?
Yeah.
You get traded to arguably the greatest
You asked
super
to go
team on paper. You asked
us
for
to
it.
go to Brooklyn. Yep.
You got it. What else do you want?
Yeah.
What do you, and you know what, let me not even entertain or get hyped up on that because he, you know, it's not set in stone yet, nor is it like, you know what I'm saying? But just a thought. Like,
that's the only, that's the only thing I think the Sixers are really waiting on. That's the only thing, and it's crazy because even if they are waiting on that, they could have already did that. Like James Harden really should really be a Sixer already. If you really think about it, like he really should be a Sixer already. If you really think about it.
But you know what though? How do you think? And this is a realistic question because I know off rip, I know what people are going to say. But how do you think Joel Embiid and James Harden would have played together?
Inside outside combination. We're seeing the modern day version of Kobe Bryant and Shaq. That's simple. That's what they would have been. That's what we seeing. It gets scary. And even if, and I know you said like, oh, if he didn't win a championship with the Brooklyn Nets and he goes to the Philadelphia Sixers, it's just kind of like, well, let me tell you something. Like Brooklyn is weakened and Philadelphia is elevated. So it ain't like it's like a guarantee that like the Brooklyn Nets going to like beat the Philadelphia Sixers if that happened or something like that. But it's just like, it gets serious.
Well, I mean, they would still end up adding Ben Simmons, right? Sure. And I'm assuming it ain't just a 1-for-1.
No, of course. Yeah, they still.
But you know, you probably get, who else you think, I mean, get Maxey in there probably.
Nah, I mean, probably get him. It depends. No? I don't really, because we don't know if this is.
Yeah. Like, well, this is James Harden here. Yeah, like, but if they're hesitant for De'Aaron Fox, but could possibly get James Harden, if I'm Brooklyn, hey guys, I don't even want to give up James. But if I am, that roster is looking depleted afterwards. Yeah, ain't no way in hell it's a 1v1. Nah, bro, man.
Nah, it may not be a 1v1, but it ain't gonna be like a massive deal. I don't believe, especially if James Harden gonna walk for free. Especially if James Harden can walk for free. He can walk for free. So there's like when you can walk for free, like you're like what you can get back. If they already know if they already know he leaving, they be like, damn, we better just get Ben and something else. We can get a Ben in the first round draft pick. But they know he leaving. It ain't like they got hold his rights. Like he a free agent. Like he's a free agent. Like he could just walk for free.
That's
you know
so
what I'm saying?
Tacky if he leaves. But you know what, man? You know what? Who? I got so many thoughts in my head right now. Who they lose to? Right?
They better get it done this year.
Please.
They better get it done because I'm a big. I guess you can say who do I root for the most now that I'm older and Dwayne Wade's been out the league? It's been the Brooklyn Nets because when I moved out here, I kind of gravitated towards like going to watch Brooklyn games over to Madison Square Garden. I think most people do when they move from one place to New York because it's just like you can't really be a Knicks fan because you got all them crazy ass diehard Knicks fans have been Knicks fans since they've been 4 or 5 years old. So you kind of got to go to Brooklyn anyway.
Crazy.
you kind of gotta like Dale. How you grow up a Knicks fan and you ain't never really seen nothing like no success.
Sounds
no
like
winning.
Cowboys fans. Sounds like Cowboy fan. What you mean? How you grew up a Knicks fan and ain't seen no success? Have you watched the Cowboys game?
Well, time out. I'm from St. Louis. I root for the Rams as well. Let's not get it twisted. Like I've seen success. So in football, relax.
And then lose to the Patriots. But proceed. I got you. You're right.
Yeah, they cheated, but Spygate is not real to you.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah, okay.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, man.
I bet. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we can talk about that if that happens, but that's what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Also, that's what I'm kind of hearing about like James Harden as well. But we'll see. I mean,
it would be from a basketball perspective, it would be cool to watch. You know, but the reason why I asked about that is because after you got two talented guys who can give you 30, 40, two, MVP candidates, all that. But I feel like the majority of Harden assists, right, comes off lobs, right? And if Joel Embiid, and not to say that, again that can't work, but if Joel Embiid is more of a like, let's get him the ball in the post and everyone else kind of get the hell out the way, does that kind of, do you think one of them would step on another toes, or do you think the offense would flow like that?
No, because in a pick and roll, like James Harden in a pick and roll, like he's hitting the three, he's coming off, the screen and hitting Joel Embiid with a bounce pass or an alley. Like I don't really think it. And also like having a player to like drop the ball off down the post and get the hell out of the way where, the opposing team got to come and double They get some easy and open looks as well, and everybody easy and open looks. So I think it would work fine. 'Cause like I said, we haven't seen an inside outside combination since like Kobe and Shaq. If we keep it in 100, a real like truly inside outside combination. I know like Joel Embiid likes to get Boogie on the perimeter, but like he still like is super dominant in the post. Like we haven't seen that since Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah, I'm trying to. There's no way we went 2 decades.
Inside, outside,
some sort of
inside, like a lethal scorer and a lethal like post player. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's a shame. We got 38 teams, and we haven't seen that for 20 damn years.
Yeah.
There's not. Damn. Kind of want it to be Ant and Cat, but you know, oh well.
Go ahead, throw a Cap. We might as well get to it. Cap or no Cap.
Oh, I said Ant or Cat.
Oh,
like
okay.
inside outside, but yeah, we can do Cap or no Cap. Shit, we might as well base off Anthony Edwards then, since
yes, we might as well.
I mean, bro, man just got tossed out of the game in Atlanta, but it's all good, you know. Homecoming, shit happens. Cap or no cap? Anthony Edwards will lead the league in scoring within the next 3 years.
Next 3 years?
3.
Cap. Giannis putting up 30 and 10 in his sleep. I mean, 60%, and he's not even leading the league in scoring. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah.
But I mean, we had this conversation before, you know, I think with Dame. It's like, you know, it's because a guy is, you know, leading the league.
Yeah, scoring is not a good thing.
Might not be, yeah, so I mean, buckets are buckets. I'm not saying whether or not he'll be an MVP or not, but, you know, if the opportunity is there, they make some moves. If he really, really, really becomes that no doubt about it number 1 option in Minnesota.
Yeah. Nah, I don't see that happening though. No? Like I said, like KD's still gonna be in the league. Steph, well, 3 years is different, but
I say it's 3 years.
Yeah, Giannis is still gonna be Giannis. I think Luka, Trey. Even though these guys kind of do everything, so
that should have been a question too. Will Luka be a damn maverick? But yeah, he's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere. Like Nikola, there's certain players I feel like it's gonna be like we're finally gonna get some like.
You know what? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's what I feel like we should do as well. Is have like an all-time. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's
like we always say like, you know, guy like De'Aaron Fox, free him. Bradley Beal,
fine.
release him. Damian Lillard, run. But who's like, yeah, they might as well, you know, sign that little 30-year mortgage. They might as well, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just be prepared to, you know, just not leave. Damn. I mean, I can't say, you know, like a player in their 30, like Steph, obviously, okay. You know, they're gonna build that man a statue.
Yeah, true.
Anyway,
are we doing this right? We doing this right now?
Oh, I mean, it don't gotta be like the list ain't longer than like 5 people.
Yeah, I'm just like, what? We just got a cap and no. That was such an easy cap or no cap for me though, because I just feel like
I thought about it after, only because I mean, for me, it's probably because of the 3 years thing. But yeah,
but it's just like Giannis averaging 30 and 12 in his sleep, like 60% from the field. Like only way Giannis ain't get averaging 30 and 12 is that Giannis is just like gets bored in the regular season and says, "Shit, I'm gonna take like 7, 8 threes a game and just experiment." Into the playoffs go.
Work on my game in January.
Let's just experiment. Like I'm gonna use the regular season just experiment. Like if I average like 25 and 12 instead of 30 and 12, like who cares? I'm gonna take 7, 8 threes a game. I'm make sure I'm taking about 10 jumpers a game. I'm just want to experiment. This shit's too easy.
I mean, you know, that's probably what's gonna be like once Kawhi, KD, and LeBron retire. Like, damn, literally no one else in this league can guard me. Well, let's start putting up 30-footers just because I can.
But yeah, the all time who's not going anywhere. Man, I feel like it's crazy.
Jason Tatum. Oh, actually, never mind.
You crazy as hell. Dude, Boston fans better get ready because Jaylen Brown gave that phenomenal speech on MLK Day and it was damn near crickets afterwards. I said, I was like, yo, get Jaylen Brown the hell up out of here, bro. Like this is really crazy, why. Bro. Yeah, it's
where was the speech at?
Yeah, Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay.
So get this man the hell up out of here. But definitely not Jason Tatum. crickets. They was clapping, bro. They was clapping for Freedom when Freedom first got there and entered the game. Gave that man a standing ovation. Jalen Brown talking about MLK, and this is like, he's like, come on now, give it up.
Crazy, man.
Oh, this is not funny,
crazy,
but we just gotta laugh about this shit. But
yeah, just like that, being in that environment is like, well, the days are limited. The days are limited.
It's crazy, but Giannis, I don't think Giannis is going anywhere.
Well, yeah, I don't mean like a superstar. So I'm thinking like, I don't want to say LaMelo.
It's too early. But it's certain. But it is certain players that you just feel like, I don't know, like even like they're young, like you said, LaMelo. Like I don't know, like you look at Ja, like it's just certain players that just kind of like the city is just gravitating towards them that you can really see them like potentially staying there for the rest of their career. I know things happen in NBA.
That's how it always starts. That's how it always starts.
Yeah, but it's just like Ja, LaMelo, Giannis. Giannis may get bored. I feel like Giannis.
Oh, Trey. I don't think Trey's going anywhere. I don't see Trey going anywhere.
Trey Young.
I don't see him going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason. Like
Luka. I don't see Luka leaving Dallas.
Would you throw Spider on there?
Hell no. Spider really should be looking to get out right now, like to get into a bigger market, because I think people really underestimate like how great he is. I think the addition to adding Dwayne Wade into that ownership helps things as a part-time owner, but I really feel that like Spider should be in a bigger like situation, in a bigger like destination, because like he's very talented, he's very cold, and he's also like people just don't really talk about him as much as we talk about other guys, and he's just as good as some of these guys, if not even better. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's playing in Utah, just like with De'Aaron Fox in Sacramento. It's just like De'Aaron Fox is really damn good.
Purgatory.
But it's like, yeah, that's what people, them small market teams, it's just like, damn, like, it sucks sometimes. So, but definitely not Donovan Mitchell. I think it's only, like you say, it was only 4, about 5. I think it's Trey. I think it's Luka. I think it's
Devin Booker.
Sheesh, throwing.
He's I mean, got the money and the NBA Finals appearance. There's no. And I mean, Phoenix may not be a New York,
but it's close to LA. Yeah,
ain't. You know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's and they love him down there. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah. All right, y'all.
It's a few.
Yeah, it's a few. It's not many. Some guys you already know. Less than 3 years, calls gonna be made.
Facts.
And yeah. But all right, y'all. We're gonna see you on the next one. Peace. What's up, y'all? It's Theus McBee. Make sure you go follow No Pump Fakes on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to your podcasts.